Have you ever stopped to think that your perception of the divine, how you see God,
Mm-hmm.
might actually say more about your own understanding,
Hmm.
about your lens of discrimination, maybe, than about the divine itself?
That's a really profound question to start with. It really makes you pause, doesn't it?
It does. So today on the deep dive, we're going to explore exactly that, how our own ability to discriminate, to sort of see clearly
Right.
how that shapes the way we perceive God. We'll be digging into Gita for Joyful Living, looking specifically at chapter 7, verses 24 to 26.
Perception of God, yeah.
Exactly. And our mission, you could say, is to unpack why understanding God's true nature isn't always straightforward, and, how our own intelligence, our spiritual grasp plays a huge role.
It's often overlooked, that part.
Totally. We'll look at some specific reasons why this understanding can be so elusive, things like God's nature itself, illusions that cloud things,
Right.
and what Lord Krishna actually teaches about it in the Gita. So hopefully a practical roadmap, too.
Sounds great.
Okay, so let's dive right into the central idea from the source material. It's pretty direct.
It is, isn't it?
It says the level of intelligence directly determines how someone perceives God. It even says that unintelligent and ignorant people believe in various personal gods to the exclusion of all other gods.
Wow, yeah. That's quite a statement right off the bat.
It is. It makes you wonder what kind of intelligence we're talking about here.
Absolutely. And it's not just a side note, is it? It's presented as a key principle. The source makes it clear straight away that perceiving God's true nature, well, it's not simple.
Right.
This deep understanding isn't just handed out. There are real fundamental reasons why it's difficult, which we need to explore. It's almost a call to, step up our own understanding.
Okay, let's unpack that. The first reason the source gives, it's almost a paradox, actually. It says God cannot be perceived through the five senses, which sounds like, well, a major roadblock, doesn't it?
It does. If our main tools are sight, sound, touch, taste, smell,
Yeah.
and God's beyond them, how do you even start?
Exactly. See, seems like the quest ends before it begins.
I think that.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Okay.
The source says that when we engage in inquiry, when we go beyond just surface level looking and really try to understand with a discerning mind,
Mm-hmm.
then our whole perception shifts.
Yeah.
And God can then be perceived through those same five senses.
Wait, so it's not the senses changing, but how we use them, or our understanding behind them.
Precisely. It's not about getting new senses. It's about a radical change in our mode of perception, like retuning an instrument that was already there.
Okay, so the big insight then is what?
The aha moment, perhaps, is that God isn't some separate thing to perceive. It's that all that is available for perception is God.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So the challenge isn't finding God out there. It's waking up to the divine that is everything we perceive already. It's seeing the divine in and as the world. It takes discrimination to recognize that unity.
That's a big shift in perspective. Okay, so that reframes things quite a bit. But then the second reason, God is self-revealing.
Mm-hmm.
Self-revealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No special equipment needed. He's just there, available.
Exactly, inherently present. Which leads to this kind of startling idea that he's like, we're actually experiencing God all the time.
All the time.
According to this, yes. But here's the catch. The tricky part. We often don't recognize it.
Okay. Like it's background noise we tune out?
Sort of. Like being surrounded by incredible music, but you're so busy thinking about your emails or whatever, you just don't consciously hear it. We're immersed, but our awareness isn't tuned in.
So if God is always self-revealing, why don't we see it?
Yeah.
What creates that blind spot?
And that leads directly to why a teacher, a guru, is considered so important in this path.
Right. Not to give us the experience.
Exactly, because we're supposedly already having it. The teacher's role is to help us identify it, to point it out.
To help us connect the dots, maybe. Name what we're already sensing.
Precisely, to bring conscious awareness to it.
The source uses that analogy, the one about the nightingale. I thought that was really helpful.
Oh yeah, the forest walker. Right. Someone's walking in the forest, hears this beautiful bird song, feels joy, peace.
Mhm.
But if you ask later, did you hear a nightingale? They might say no. Not because they didn't hear the sound.
But because they didn't know it was a nightingale.
Exactly. They had the experience, but lacked the specific knowledge, the discrimination to label it correctly. Experiencing God, but not recognizing him as God.
It's a perfect illustration.
Mm-hmm.
Raw experience versus conscious identification.
Mm-hmm.
It shows how knowledge and discrimination are needed even for things we directly experience.
Yes. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. Now, the third reason, this touches on something many seekers actually look for, visions.
Yes, visions in meditation. The source acknowledges this. It says, it is possible to see a vision of a personal God through meditation. It validates that
Oh,
experience.
but there's always a but, isn't there?
Uh-huh. Yes. The crucial point follows immediately. This experience should be treated as a step to understand God. A step, not the final destination.
Okay, so the vision is real, potentially powerful, but it's not the end goal.
Exactly. And this is where discrimination becomes absolutely vital. Without it, even a profound experience could potentially lead you off track.
And the example of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that's really striking.
It is, isn't it? His vision of Kali helped him. Get this. Remove Kali with the sword of knowledge.
Wow, remove Kali. It sounds almost aggressive.
Well, it signifies using the knowledge gained through the vision to transcend the form itself. The vision was a tool, a means to a deeper, formless understanding, not the ultimate reality to cling to.
He used the experience to cut through the limitation the form represented.
Precisely.
Hmm.
And this connects to a common pitfall the Source warns about: spiritual stagnation.
How so?
Because many individuals, it says, do not progress beyond this stage. They get attached to the vision.
Ah, so they just want to repeat the cool vision.
You got it. They keep trying repetition of such experiences without realizing its impermanent nature. They fall in love with the signpost.
And forget it's pointing somewhere else, so they get stuck admiring the map instead of exploring the actual territory.
Beautifully put. They haven't applied the discrimination to see its transient nature or its deeper purpose.
Okay, that's a really important warning. Now, reason number 4. This one feels more philosophical. The created cannot know the creator.
Yes, this delves into the fundamental nature of reality. God is described as all-knowing. Why? Because his mind includes the minds of all the living beings. Think about that scope.
An all-encompassing consciousness, which contrasts sharply with us.
Right. Our knowledge is limited to our one mind, our own perspective, our experiences. So we just don't have the capacity to grasp God's immense power and total knowledge. It's like trying to hold the ocean in a teacup.
An inherent limitation.
And it goes further. God is the cause of all creation, the ultimate source.
The potter.
Exactly. So God, the potter, knows the pot's us, creation, intimately. But we, the created pots, cannot know the God in that same originating, all-encompassing way.
It's about the direction of causality, almost.
Precisely. It's a difference in perspective tied to origin.
And that simple analogy nails it. The pots do not know the potter. It's so clear. We exist because of the potter, but we can't comprehend the potter. How humbling is that?
Very. And the Source connects this directly to us, explaining that creation, even our own body-mind complex,
Everything we think of as me.
yes, is essentially an inert object created by God, and therefore it cannot know God.
Inert, even though we feel conscious.
The idea here is that the conscious principle within us is a reflection of Brahman, the higher nature of God. A reflection, a spark, but not the Source itself, not the sun, just a ray.
Okay, that takes some deep discrimination to unpack, too. And it leads right into the 5th reason, doesn't it? The big one, Maya.
The veil of illusion, yes. But first, the Source introduces Brahman.
Right. The higher nature of God, described as unassociated with anything, not causing anything.
Exactly. The absolute ultimate reality. The unchanging truth behind everything. Pure consciousness beyond form. The ground of being.
And then comes Maya.
Then comes the human predicament. We're caught, the Source says, in the lower nature of God, which is Maya, the illusion.
Like that virtual reality analogy you mentioned earlier.
Kind of. We're so immersed in this apparent reality, this game, that we forget it's not the ultimate reality. And that's why it is difficult to perceive God. Maya distorts our view, hiding the unchanging Brahman.
It makes the absolute seem distant or hidden.
Exactly. And Lord Krishna himself weighs in on this, tying it back to intelligence, to discrimination.
What does he say?
The quote is, "No one except the intelligent will know me because I am the subject that knows everything, and the inert objects cannot know the subject."
Wow. So again, it's not just about being book smart.
No, it's about that deeper spiritual intelligence. The discernment needs to see beyond the illusion, to recognize the ultimate knower, the subject.
And all of this, these 5 reasons, the role of intelligence,
Huh.
it's all directly linked to those Gita verses, right?
Right.
Chapter 7, verses 24 to 26.
Absolutely. They aren't just philosophical musings. They're the foundation for this understanding. These verses directly state these principles.
Okay, let's connect those dots. Verse 7.24.
That one speaks right to the intelligence point. Not knowing my supreme nature, which is changeless and unsurpassed, The indiscriminate ones think that I have assumed this form and personality.
So lack of discrimination leads to projecting limited forms onto God, missing the big picture.
Precisely. Seeing only the appearance, not the transcendent reality.
And 7.25, that's the Maya one.
Directly. God is veiled by my Maya, and
Hmm.
so not evident to all. It adds, being deluded, this world does not know me who am unborn and infallible.
That really explains why the perception is difficult. We're living inside the illusion.
We are, believing the simulation is the only reality.
Okay. And finally, 7.26.
This is Lord Krishna, stating that point about the creator and the created. O Arjuna, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come, but no one knows me.
That's incredibly definitive. The sheer scope of divine knowledge versus our limitation.
It is. God knows everything. No created being can encompass that knowing. It really makes you think, if no one knows him in that absolute sense, what is the path? What are we aiming for?
Which I guess brings us perfectly to the way forward. The source offers teaching 97 here.
Ah, yes. A very practical piece of guidance.
It says, faith in God helps intelligent people to know God.
Notice the combination there. Faith helps intelligent people.
Right. It's not blind faith versus intelligence. It's suggesting they work together.
Exactly. The intelligence allows for the discrimination, the inquiry, the understanding of limitations, and faith provides the trust, the openness needed for that deeper understanding to actually land.
So faith gives the conviction to keep looking, maybe, and intelligence refines how we look.
That's a great way to put it. This intelligent faith uses reason to see beyond reason's limits, and then opens up, with trust, to a different kind of knowing. Faith as a catalyst for deeper discernment.
Not a replacement for it.
Not at all. It's the conviction that there is something more, even if our senses miss it, which then motivates us to look closer, inquire deeper, and finally recognize what was always there.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. These profound reasons why perceiving God's true nature is, well, a real journey.
From the limits of our senses, the created-creator dynamic, the power of Maya,
To the absolute necessity of discriminating intelligence.
and for you listening, the key takeaway seems to be that real understanding isn't just about having a nice vision or believing something superficially.
Right. It demands more. A deeper inquiry, questioning assumptions.
In cultivating that spiritual discernment, not just book smarts, but the wisdom to see past the illusion of separateness, moving from just hearing the nightingale to knowing its name, knowing its nature.
Exactly. And maybe just a final thought to leave you with. If all that is available for perception is God, as the source suggests, then maybe the ultimate act of discrimination isn't about finding something new or external. Maybe it's about learning to truly see what's already here, what has always been present, right under our noses, so to speak.
A shift from
I
seeking
think.
to seeing.
Yeah, something to really mull over. A whole different way to approach the path.